A critical analysis of a young player development model. Introduction. Modelling in sport. Modelling in sport is used to understand the development, engagement and dropouts in sport. Coaches can use these models to help young people reach their goals within sport, whether that be competing in sport at a competitive level, participation level, or just for healthy physical activity. It is understood that the models of development provide key factors and stages of development that are significant to help coaches and people's participation within sport, said by Bailey et al. 2011. Long-term athlete development model. The LTAD model is accepted by multiple national governing bodies to offer a plan of action in the approach to talent development. The model gives an understanding of developing athletic potential along with biological growth. Long-term athlete development model provides development periods which provides an age for different stages of physical athlete development, in which the model focuses on training to enhance and reach optimal performance, stated by Ford et al. 2011. Here shown is a little diagram of the long-term athlete development model. The athlete focus will be talent development. It is explained that kids retire from sport due to a lack of enjoyment, too much intense training and lots of stress and pressure within competitive play. These factors lead to burnout within sport and dropouts, according to Vitali et al. 2015. It has been known that talent identification models exclude people, specifically late maturing children, from development programs because of the multidimensional nature of sport talent and current talent development programs. There are many children who want to be successful in sport, however, there is a lack of knowledge of how talent should be identified, and there are no frameworks that guide existing practice. The success of these programs are unknown, and the validity of models needs to be studied further. It is understood that the talent development program should consider maturity status to develop athletes with potential rather than excluding children at an early age, says Vaines et al. 2008. From this current research in talent development, I want to see if the long-term athlete development model is beneficial for 13 to 16-year-olds. Characteristics and development stages of 13 to 16-year-olds. It is an age where there is huge difference in children's ages chronologically: skeletal age, somatic age, sexual age and training age, all which children will have different ages of development even though their chronological age is the same. This needs to be considered when coaching the same chronological age group, that different children have different skeletal, somatic, sexual and training ages. For example, you can have a child with chronological age of 16, however, a skeletal age of 13. Putting a child in chronological age group could have a damaging effect physically and mentally on the athlete due to perhaps inability to be able to compete with the same chronological age group due to being 3 years younger in skeletal age. Therefore, it is important coaches understand relative age effects and what development stage is suitable to benefit the athlete's physical and mental performance and well-being, stated by Lloyd et al. 2019. With children of the same age being at different development ages, this could affect the well-being of a young person. Steinberg 2005 emphasises that adolescents are poor decision makers and are easily influenced by peers, which could influence future development and happiness. Gardner 2005 highlights how difference in development age will have huge impacts on confidence, happiness, behaviour and performance development. Therefore, it is important that coaches understand this in order to adapt to have a positive impact on athletes. The themes within long-term athlete development. Within the long-term athlete development model, I have identified 3 themes that are important within talent development for 13 to 16-year-olds. They are fun, burnout and specialisation. Starting off with fun. The model doesn't emphasise fun apart from active start and active life stage of development. Gordon 2004 explains how the model aims to have sporting activity, fun at a young age to increase participation and emphasise fun at retainment age to keep people active for life. However, The 13 to 16-year-old age group is about developing performance and training to train with little focus on fun. Bengochea et al. 2004 identifies that sport without fun has huge effects on people's potential in sporting performance and affects sport participation, highlighting that coaching and sport needs to be fun for development and participation. 13 to 16-year-olds need the fun factor to engage and continue to develop in sport, as the fun factor is which increases happiness, which will help them improve sport and want to improve sporting performance. Burnout. Vitale et al. 2015 highlights how athletes suffer from burnout due to too much intense training and emotional stress due to competitive play and pressure. This is specific to 13 to 16-year-olds, as this age hormones are frequently changing and this can have huge impact on mental well-being. An example in swimming is that athletes are suffering from burnout due to being pushed to their limits because the sport is so demanding and requires early specialisation to make the elite stage, according to Grayson et al. 2010. Finally, specialisation. Vanes et al. 2008 suggest how the model excludes late specialisation and can therefore be exclusive for athletes that develop at a later stage than others. It is also known that the model can be a barrier for athletes that specialise early, as they cannot go into the next development stage until they are chronologically at the appropriate age. McPhail et al. 2010. This is a bold theme in which affects 13 to 16-year-olds as they are at different stages physical and mentally, and the model perhaps stunts development due to assessing athletes chronologically. An example would be late specialisation, talented footballers missing out on elite performance opportunities because they are not in football academies from an early age, according to Iverson et al. 2015. Strengths and weaknesses of the long-term athlete development model. Balik 2005 highlights how the model provides an opportunity for people to participate in sport from an early age right through to retirement age, keeping people active for life. It provides coaches with a guidance to coaching athletes, giving them insights as to what type of coaching is appropriate for that specific age group of people to help develop and improve athlete performance and reduce dropouts. Brooks et al. 2016. Weaknesses. Ford et al. 2011 states how the model is a generic model for people's development and it is not individualized for specific athlete development, perhaps damaging specific athletes' potential or enjoyment in sport. It is not known that it is acceptable for individuals to remain in one phase and not strive to progress through the remaining phases of the model. This has an effect on people's confidence if they are not ready for the next stage of development, and it has a damaging effect on athletes that are capable of achieving the next stage of development but can't due to chronological age, stated by McPhail et al. 2010. The LTAD relevance and suitability to talent development. The model is appropriate for talent development athletes. Stafford et al. 2005 explains how the model provides a platform of development for talent development athletes to succeed and improve performance through different stages of development, focusing on developing athletes to reach optimal potential. Giblin et al. 2014 identifies the importance of LTAD model in developing physical literacy to attain athletes' optimum performance levels. For example, a person who isn't competent in FOM and FMS will struggle in SSS, which can have a damaging effect on athlete development in the talent development stage of sport. Giblin et al. 2014. The model provides key steps in physical literacy that is vital in developing sport-specific skills, and without fundamentals of movement and fundamental skills, athletes will fail to achieve success in specific sport if not competent in the fundamental areas. The model provides levels of development to develop athletes and reach high levels of performance. The conclusion. In some areas, the LTAD model is a valid model for 13 to 16-year-olds, as it is insisted that this is the age to specialise in sport and develop specific skills to develop sport performance in a specific sport. However, there is room for improvement in the validity of the model, which I am going to say now. Future recommendations for the LTAD model is that it doesn't account for the late specialisation. It is difficult to move from different development stages if needed, and it shouldn't base development off chronological age, as this isn't a clear indication to identify talent. The model should consider and identify talent and progress through maturational age, skeletal age, and training age, as this allows for late specialisation athletes who have potential to reach high levels of performance. The model is a generalised model and not beneficial for one specific athlete, which prevents barriers for development and could affect mental well-being in some athletes. For example, gymnastics require early specialisation to reach high levels of performance. However, sports such as football sees many late specialised athletes perform at good levels. The model needs to be flexible to allow for early and late specialisation and to have more knowledge on relative age in identifying talent. That was stated by Ford et al. And MacPhail. They are my references. Thank you.